Trump, he's never out of the news, this guy. Is he your person of the year? He's been given that title by Time magazine for the second time. It says he marshaled a comeback of historic proportions, and he drove a once-in-a-generation political realignment and reshaped the American presidency, altering America's role in the world. In winning that sort of coveted thing of being on the cover, he beat off the Princess of Wales, who was nominated for starting a conversation about privacy and health for public figures, and he was ahead of his friend Elon Musk, the richest person in the world, who was nominated for being a so-called innovative disruptor. His son, Donald Trump Jr., shared this video online to celebrate. So, yeah, who was the figure? I missed when the foot came over. Who was he?
I don't know who it was.
He was last year. Can we see it again? Can we run it again? Let's just have a look at this. Oh, it's Zelensky. Okay,
that's not nice.
That seems inappropriate.
Yeah, well, that's very Trump behaviour, like father, like son.
Yeah,
but it's rather
I didn't realise who it was.
Come, isn't it? That's the
it
problem.
is a bit crass. So, Donald Trump, person of the year?
Absolutely. Awful man, but he's going to change the world. And there we are. In the old days, of course, it used to be somebody that had done some wonderful good that you admired and all the rest of it. I don't have those feelings for Donald Trump, but there is no question that he is going to be the most influential bloke around for the next 4 years.
For sure.
God help us all.
What about you, Saira?
Well,
is it worth it?
Well, I was like, how did that happen? But when you look at the criteria for, for the Times Person of the Year, it is for better or for worse.
Because they had Putin once. I think back in the 30s they had Hitler in the 30s, and I think that's before we knew how evil he was. But they could still, under their criteria, they could still have chosen him in that he changed the shape of the world.
Why did you choose for worse?
I know, because person of the year sounds like something you celebrate.
Celebrate, it's like this person's been a great influence. Why would you choose somebody for worse?
Who are you talking about, Trump?
And I'm talking about the criteria for the
when you choose Putin, for example.
Yeah, why would you put,
All right, let's choose ours. Go on, Nick, you show me your person of the year, please. Let's imagine you were the editor of Time magazine. Do hold it up for our camera.
Yes, I will. It's more appealing to the UK readers of Time magazine. It's a wonderful man, and a lot of people made a lot of fun of him as a younger man, and he's come through, and now I think he's going to be a great king.
Are you looking for a knighthood?
What?
Are you looking for a knighthood? Seriously?
I was hoping, I thought not quite a knighthood.
Maybe Lord Hewer, Baron Hewer.
No, but actually, come on. He's going to be a very good man.
I'm very surprised that you chose one member of the royal family.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't think you.
Okay, I'll do mine because I want
Jeremy?
to. Saira's still last. You're going to love. Wait for yours.
Yeah.
I love your choice, Saira. Mine actually. I know you'll say, oh, it's obvious, but I do think this guy is remarkable, Alan Bates, because he took on the post office.
Yes.
Was virtually ruined in the process. Is still waiting for Compo. Has fought for all the others as well. And I think he's if we had a British Time magazine, you stick him on the cover, without a doubt. Alan Bates. Now, Saira, give us yours.
That's a fantastic choice. Well, I actually went for somebody like that, myself. Do you know why? I am going to say that I am Person of the Year because in my family, I am a working mum. I am raising a family. I am raising a small business. I am a governor of a school. I give to charity. I work in the local... I do a lot of good and I want to represent my face for all the women out there who are working, raising children and families and being part of the going
I hear
teeth
you.
as well.
None of us are going to argue with that. I feel like I should have chosen you as well now. I'm
going to take this home because I actually love that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
I think you have to put yourself first sometimes.
Yeah, well, I think I like... It's a lovely photo of you.
But the other one was Navalny. A martyr, Frank.
Alexei Navalny, Russian opposition leader, died in jail in Siberia. Let's just have a look at some of the other ones chosen by members of our programme team.
Oh, lovely.
So we just said, there is Anisha, who's chosen Ray.
Like her, yes.
Very interesting. Next one, please. There is Josh, who's chosen Liam Gallagher.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're coming back big time. That's a lovely cover, that one.
Lovely.
Next one, please. There is Sophia, who has chosen Giselle Pellico.
Amazing woman.
Who actually, there's a fantastic choice by Sophia.
Yes.
Do we have? Oh, yes, we've got Maddie, the camera person. Let's see, Maddie, the brilliant Maddie, has chosen the King of Norway. And I can't believe we didn't think of him. Well done. Now, Ella's here. Okay, show me yours. Come on.
This, also quite close to home, is my granny.
Yes,
Oh,
well
choose
done.
your granny. That's fine. Tell us about. She's wearing a mayor's hat.
Yeah, former mayor of Shrewsbury.
I thought maybe a pirate.
She's not watching at the moment because she is in a residential home training people to be Samaritans. She is a Samaritan. She does night shifts.
Bless
She
her.
goes into prisons. She's 83 and she trains prisoners to be Samaritans within the prison.
Wow.
Wow.
Well done.
Ella's granny.
Well done, Ella's granny.
Here, I'll put it down here, Ella. So we've got it
Brilliant.
down underneath the old LED
There we
plasma.
go.
I love. It is a mayor's hat, that, not a pirate's hat.
It is,
correct?
yeah.
Okay. Obviously, always interested in her background. So, Ian in Blackpool, Time Magazine. Let's start with Trump. Are you happy with it being Trump, Ian?
I'm not surprised it's being Trump, but you stole my thunder, really, because I was going to say that it's an illustrious company. What was Putin in 2007, Ayatollah Khomeini in 79, Joseph Stalin in 42 and 39, and, of course, Adolf Hitler in 38.
Oh, was Hitler 38? Okay, so they could argue that that's before the full horror unfolded.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if
So
you're going to ask me...
I was just going to say, Ian, do you think it's a person of the year means somebody of whom we approve or just someone who's done the most damage?
I think it can be a combination of both. You know, it can... Well, sorry, not a combination, but it can be either.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, in terms of, you know, changing the world, I probably think that Trump would fit into that category.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's
But
a
if you
historian.
could-
To win twice, you know, in fact, of course, as somebody said recently, he thinks he's won 3 elections in a row.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Ian. Paula in Sheffield, you got a nomination if you were editing Time Magazine.
Kevin Sinfield.
Okay, remind us about what Kevin did.
Oh, the work that he's done to raise the profile of MND. He's brought it to the forefront of everybody's mind. He's done so much for the charity. I mean, he's just running all these marathons. He's unbelievable. What a man.
Driven by the death of his friend, of course.
His best friend, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, Paula, thank you. It's really good to remember that because it's a very, very nasty illness. They always say that motor neurone disease is the one that doctors dread most, getting themselves. Thank you, Paula. Ali in Coventry, who is your Time Magazine Person of the Year, if not Trump?
Yes, hello. My person of the year is Joe Biden because what he's done as a US president is really impressive.
Go on. I'm wondering now if you're going to hit us with some sarcasm.
Hopefully I am.
Go
I
on.
think he's
Hit
done
us with the sarcasm. We're going to try and work out if we can get it. Go on.
He's even better than Donald Trump.
He's done, yeah. Why would you put him on the cover of Time Magazine?
Well, I think because, one, he was a really good president for the USA, and two, he's election leaders, he's met government.
Right. Good. Doesn't sound like there's a 3 coming. Thank you. I thought there was going to be sarcasm.
I thought there was.
You could say,
Yeah.
I thought he's going to say, Biden's brilliant because he so messed it up by not pulling out.
Yeah.
He gave it to Trump.
Who's now on the cover?
Yeah.
Who's now on the cover. But no, he went another way.
He actually believes that he should be on the cover.
I think he was not, when I said that we're ready for sarcasm, there wasn't any. Emma in London, Time Magazine's Person of the Year, please.
I think that it should be anybody but Trump. He's
Yes.
so bad when he let all the people like rush Washington and letting all the criminals off that went and like tried to do the White House and everything.
Yeah, hasn't done that yet, but may do. Yeah.
I'm actually very disturbed that he's in charge. Biden was just an idiot. Right, because he was a bit stupid, but I'm so annoyed that Trump's got in. I actually think that the world is a much more unsafe place that he's in charge.
Well, I don't know, Nick, you seem to think, I was thinking you were thinking it's a safer place, Nick, or not? The world?
I think it probably is, because I think he'll probably cave in to Putin. And he'll pull us out of NATO, or pull himself out of NATO. Can I just duck in on Stalin very, very quickly?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Because Stalin was on the cover when everybody thought he was absolutely brilliant. 1953 he died. And I so remember my mother saying, we shall all kneel down now because Uncle Joe has died. I said I didn't know Uncle Joe was ill. She said, not that Uncle Joe, Joe Stalin. Because actually everybody thought Stalin was great until we began to realise he had killed 20 million people.
And that was only after he died, was
Exactly.
it? I didn't know that. Because, of course, yes, Churchill had a big conference with Stalin and Roosevelt at Yalta in 44. So he was our ally, in a way. Thanks, Emma. This is fascinating, isn't it? So, Peter in West Sussex, you are the editor of Time magazine. You're not going to put Trump on the cover. Who's it going to be?
I put King Charles.
King Charles, tell us why.
Yeah.
Well done.
I tell you, I mean, this Mr. Trump, I think he's the greatest con man the Americans have ever had. He doesn't listen to anybody. He won't take advice. And suddenly he's going to get rid of, I don't know how many millions of immigrants. He's going to stop the war in Ukraine all on the day he's elected. I mean, the people are crazy to move, but he's the most evil man I think the Americans had. He thinks he loves Donald Trump and nobody else.
Well, you've thrown the kitchen sink at him there, I suppose.
Yeah, I am, because that's how I feel about him. I think.
But why? How did he win if he's obviously so bad and such a wrong-un? How did he beat Kamala Harris?
The American people voted for him. He caused an uproar and practically a war in Washington. And the people believed the honest, decent policemen were killed during that. And yet they've forgiven him for that.
Have you got another suggestion who should go on the cover?
I still want King Charles on the cover. I don't know any other Americans you could put on there.
Okay, just I thought you had a second.
King Charles or the manager of Chelsea Football Club, either one.
Oh, Maresca.
Yeah,
oh,
lovely.
You're playing my tune. I think it's too early for that.
Playing well,
too early. We are, I mean, say we, impartially, Chelsea, a football club I have heard of, are playing well. Okay? Your husband's a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, he's very happy at the
I keep
moment.
wanting to go and see games.
He's happy.
It's a new feeling, yeah.
Good go.
It's also on the shortlist for escape.
He's Irishman voting for the king. That's good to hear.
Yeah, is he? But I mean,
Definitely,
the king,
he was.
I think the king is, you know, he's had a rough life when you think he's been number 2 for so long. His mother, you know, losing his mother then propels him into this job. So it's a tragedy that gives him this job finally. And as somebody said, the minute he becomes king, people stop using banknotes. Mm-hmm. It's a run of bad luck in a way. Peter, thank you. We're talking about the Time magazine cover. I think you've got to go I mean, your choice of yourself, Saira, is good. But honestly,
he's
what
amazing.
they've been through.
Absolutely.
And it goes on, doesn't it? The lack of compensation.
I know, that's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I watched the show and I wasn't that much aware about what happened, but when you see it, how it destroyed people's lives.
Yeah, people
and they're
sent to
still
prison.
waiting for a little bit of compensation, you know, and they're still dragged through it. It's awful. It's trauma.
Yeah.
And the lack of shame amongst the bosses who were dragged into the inquiry.
But now we've got this thing saying that they're going to be 2 years before the prosecutions. And you're thinking, well, if you're one of the bosses, okay, they've got to sweat now for 2 years, which I suppose is good because that's going to be hard for them.
Yeah.
But it's sort of justice when it's that slow isn't really justice. Now, Veronica is in St Albans. Can you imagine being the editor of Time magazine, Veronica, for us?
No, thank you. I used to be a journalist and didn't want to be a journalist anymore.
Oh, really? I don't hear that very often. Isn't it the best job in the world, Veronica?
Well, I know, but for various reasons, you know, but it's lovely to be on here. I'd like to vote for Person of the Year, Prince Harry, because I think everybody would be thrilled to have him back home and part of the royal family again.
Yeah, now, well, there we are.
Interesting choice.
That is an interesting one. And he has certainly been vocal and he's been influential to some extent, I suppose. What do you think, Nick?
Well, you've certainly given the newspapers a lot to write about.
Yeah.
His Invictus Games is a very worthwhile thing.
He's in a massive legal case at the moment with the Mail and everything.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm a bit disappointed in Harry.
If you were managing him, if you were doing his crisis management PR, what would you say to him?
Shut up.
No
more books.
It's what you can't do in the modern world is shut up. Thank